Boom. Welcome, everyone. Apologies for the delays there, but we are live with yet another episode of the Whitepill. Welcome, Mr. Fireside. That's just the kind of excellence that. Oh, I didn't have your. No, hold on. Okay, now your audio should be coming through.
Oh, hello.
There we go. Okay. I didn't have it set up right. All right. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Fireside. Thanks for having time to come on.
Yeah, I was just saying, I feel really welcomed.
That's what we strive for here on the show. But yeah, welcome, guys. This is a rare double bill. Had a show earlier today. Got another one tonight. We've been meaning to do this for a minute now, but the reason for a delay is we've been waiting on some crucial evidence that we've finally gotten our hands on of footage, what happened during the convoy, actual on-the-ground footage, because Mr. Fireside was there himself for multiple days there. So we'll be showing you lots of that. But before we get into all of that, if you want to support the show, you can always just like, comment, subscribe. That is more than enough. If you want to have a question read aloud on stream, seeing as I don't read chat, you can send a donation to either the PayPal or the crypto there. And that being said, what else is there? Oh yeah, there's also a referral link to Proton. If you're looking to try it out, it'll be in the description of all the videos. And also Rumble, if you're not signed up yet, that is the main platform where I stream and post all my content. So go ahead and use that link to sign up there. There's no new additions to the list since the last stream. Maybe we'll have something for Friday, but we'll see. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the show. Before we get into these videos, do you remember actually seeing the trucks rolling into Ottawa or anything like that? Because I do remember actually seeing them not go through the city, because obviously they were sticking to the highways, no reason to stop in Toronto. But there were some offshoots of the convoy that made it to Toronto. Only a couple days after the one in Ottawa had finally installed itself in front of Parliament. But the cops were already ready, so they blockaded off a lot of the roads. And I remember still going home from work one day and seeing all these trucks and cars driving through with "fuck Trudeau" flags and people honking their horns and whatnot. Do you see any of that in Ottawa there?
I mean, personally, I didn't see them entering the city. By the time I got down there, they were. I mean, it was the first big day. I think they showed up the night before. They showed up the Friday afternoon or Friday evening. So by the time I showed up on Saturday, they were already pretty well set up. You would see the occasional truck running down the highway or through the city that would be, plastered with stickers or flags and so on. There were a lot of local residents that you would see. Also, just outside the city, I remember seeing a barn, a very large barn, and on the roof, somebody had put "fuck Trudeau" on it. So as you were driving by on the highway, you would see that. And it was on one of the main veins coming in from the west, which is funny because that's exactly where the vast majority of the convoy came from. But yeah, no, I wasn't personally on any of these bridges seeing them come in. You have your own thing going on in that time. Not everybody can make it out, but there was also so much, such a lockdown on information. I feel like, or maybe I was just looking in the wrong places, but I couldn't find a lot of solid information about where they were coming from, where they were going to be stopping by, and so on. So you would see protesters like these all over the place. I remember driving up on the Saturday to the protest, and there was still a bunch of people on the bridges because evidently there was still groups of the convoy entering the city. Yeah, no. Personally, I didn't. I wasn't there for this particular event. These events.
Yeah, there was definitely a lack of. I mean, there wasn't exactly a Santa tracker for the convoy. We didn't really have anyone that was tracking down their exact movement. So I'm sure the government had an idea, But yeah, it was difficult to find information there. Also, I just saw a guy in a Guy Fawkes mask at the end there.
Yep, there was a lot of those.
There he is.
I don't want to say a lot, but you saw him around for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. It reminds me of the early days of the anonymous movement in, like, I think the pre-2010 era,
Mm,
where for Occupy Wall Street and a couple of these other movements, you had a much higher presence of these masks. I don't know why it hasn't been adopted as a symbol more often, because like it's perfect. It makes you anonymous and also makes a political statement with it. Because yeah, these masks are fucking perfect for that
mm.
purpose. I don't know why they've kind of fallen out of favor. But that's interesting. I didn't think I'd see one at the Freedom Convoy. So yeah, for anyone watching, this is or listening rather, there's all these bridges that people stood on watching as the trucks passed by, and they were waving signs, flags, cheering, just overall having a gay old time cheering on the people that were headed to the capital. And mind you, this is like, once again, not in like a city like Toronto where the winter doesn't hit as bad. This is all over the country, different bridges across the country in minus 20, 30-degree weather. I mean, this happened 4 years ago. So the
Mhm.
weather that we're experiencing now, it's very similar to what they had back then. And like I said, out in the country rather, they deal with it a lot worse than we do. So you could just imagine what these people had to tolerate for all those hours watching just like trucks go by, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is it's that sense of like that realization that there's now the herd is kind of collecting. You know, you're not the only one with these thoughts anymore. We talked about this in the last episode as well about that sense of loneliness that really just it destroys a part of your soul. You know, I got no other way to say it, but being isolated to that degree um, is so detrimental. And then all of a sudden having this ability to see other people around you, like for example, when you were showing the video of the guys on the bridges, you'll notice that there wasn't a single mask, not a one.
No, not the
And the
COVID
only
mask, but
reason
yeah.
and the only reason these people feel safe doing that, like not safe in terms of health risk, but safe in terms of freedom from consequence, is because they're in a group with other people who are following that same practice.
Hmm.
Because that was a big thing with the convoys. You know, technically speaking, we were all going against public health regulations. None of us wore masks. But what are you going to do? You're going to arrest us all?
Yeah.
First of all, not wearing a mask wasn't exactly a
Oh, we've been
arrestable
over
offense.
this. Yeah.
But yeah, look at these guys. Fucking hell.
Right on. You're just some good old boys.
Yeah, so this video is probably from at least maybe a couple nights before.
Hmm.
They're just rolling in. Yeah, this is the night before. This is huge, this movement here. Because after this, nobody moved for weeks. Once you're set up, that's it. You're set up.
You getting the audio okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And oh yeah, Pete, they were ready. They were ready to just camp out. And it was bitter. Yeah, it was like minus 20 on average, but it got to like minus 28 and
This
the
guy got
nights
a
are even
shack.
colder.
He's got a fucking shack on the back of his truck. Those guys got a barbecue. I was wondering what they were hanging on to. That's a barbecue.
It is. Oh yeah, they had a whole tent set up in the middle with like barbecues and so
Hmm.
on, and water and drinks and stacks.
Yeah, and speaking of that loneliness that you mentioned, just seeing all the craziness. So I found a clip. I don't think we've shown this one yet. It was a beer store employee freaking out about the customers with no masks.
Everyone's been going ask for a mask.
We have an exemption.
Dude, I'm not serving anyone here.
Why is that?
Because you're not wearing a mask.
We have an exemption here.
It doesn't matter, you have to wear a mask.
It's okay, but can I just get these done?
No, I'm not serving
I'll be out of here
anyone.
soon.
No, guys, no. You gotta be wearing a mask, all of you.
Dude, why?
No, you gotta be wearing a mask. I don't care about your medical exemption.
Why don't
you gotta
you?
wear a mask. All of you have to be wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask right now. This is embarrassing. You gotta be wearing a mask.
Why would you?
This is embarrassing. You're right. This is very embarrassing.
Even even if the whole thing about the exemption is like, I don't know what the percentage is, but very few people manage to acquire themselves an exemption, and obviously it means nothing. Like, obviously, even if I do have an exemption, these people are so brainwashed, so radicalized in the belief that, oh, if you're not wearing a mask, you're immediately, the whole other. But not only that, you're a danger. You are a real threat just by existing right now. That it's unbelievable. Like, you don't know what the exemption is for. They don't even say. Was it a medical exemption? Was it religious exemption? Because they, as far as I was concerned, they had both.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like immediately, no, he doesn't even hear the word. He goes, no, I don't care. You're putting my life at risk right now. It's like if a guy walks in with a pistol on his hip, and you go, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, you can't have that. That's crazy. And he goes, no. But I have like a license. I have like, like a right to carry and everything else. Like I can open carry and blah, 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 blah. I have a licensing for it. No. You can't be here. I can't serve you. You have a gun. What? No, that's not how that works. You can't just deny people because you don't agree with what. So what if I walk into a store and I'm wearing a black shirt and go, oh, I don't serve people in black shirts? What? We're just making up fucking shit now.
Yeah,
even if you're trying to abide by the rules. Yeah, go ahead.
The only way you can prevent your grandma from wearing a black shirt is if you wear a black shirt yourself.
Oh God.
It's the white.
No,
it's the white shirts you gotta watch out for.
Jesus. We're gonna have the merch with the white shirts. What do you mean?
Yeah. Let's see if there's more.
It rings them up anyway, or
no, that's the guy in the mask.
And do you really think it doesn't?
We can film. We can.
I see. Right there. No, I have to.
Oh, you put the cash down on the counter.
Down.
And he walked out.
Right there.
No, I have to motherfuckers. That's not how this works.
Is that professional?
No, it's not. And also, why are you filming me in a private establishment?
We can film. We can.
I see it.
We're never gonna be tired of fighting for freedom. We're gonna continue fighting no matter
Recognize
what.
our faces because we're going to be back here a lot. Oh, look at this, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cruisers.
Holy shit. Talk about social distancing. 7 cruisers.
What they did was they called and they said, we're being robbed right now. And a liquor store being robbed is big. Right? The biggest, the worst things you could try to steal in this country, I think, are booze and well, fuck, I don't even know what.
Weed,
probably. It's and prescription drugs. Those are probably the worst things you could try to steal. Yeah, they will fucking pin you to the wall if you try to steal these things. Anything else is kind of fair game. You want to steal somebody's car, go for it. They left the keys by the door.
I was just gonna say.
But yeah, no, drugs or narcotics, you can't fucking touch. Like, that's a big fucking no-no. So as soon as the police probably got the call saying, oh yeah, the LCBO or the beer store is being robbed, they fucking were like, all right, well, we need to get our asses over there. And then they met with these people, this level of ridiculousness.
This is not.
Yeah, and here's an old man that was arrested apparently for just honking too loud because they thought he was with the convoy.
Not gonna stop. Stop harassing old men. You don't have to show them anything. It's against the law. You just for what? Hey, what are you doing?
See, if ICE was doing this to people, I would sympathize with the other side more. In contrast to what's going on right now in the world.
What do you mean?
There's a video. Well, because this is fucking harassment. You're busting people who have nothing to do with the movement, right?
Oh yeah, no. If ICE was arresting random
Yes,
people, then
exactly.
yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Exactly. They're claiming ICE is arresting all these innocent people, immigrants we should love, and so on. These people are
Rapists,
predators and fucking
murderers,
rapists and criminals.
scammers,
Like,
yeah.
this is fucking unreal. Just going after somebody because you think they're with the fucking convoy. This is exactly the same thing we see on the other side when the fucking what do you want to call them? ICE disruptors, the ICE Watch gang, fucking end up chasing each other. This is the same level of stupid.
Imagine putting a senior citizen in a fucking armbar or whatever it is.
With your stupid fucking mask on.
Hey, hey! That's assault! I've got it all on video. Yeah, he failed to ID.
Get back!
Hey!
Get back! Get back!
We're back. We're filming. We're doing. Hey,
Oh, your mask is not
number.
correct. You just killed grandma.
This is communism. He's scared. Call your police chief. He'll back you up.
Call the police.
I think this is Ottawa too. This doesn't look like Toronto because this is like in the middle of a residential zone. It doesn't really look like it's.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
It's hard to
crazy.
tell. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, who knows? I think we got one more video. Oh no, this is the link for the Nova Scotia thing you mentioned. So what were you telling me about it earlier?
So basically, like we were talking about how people were standing roadside with the first video we showed, showing support for the convoy. So what this essentially did was put a complete stop to that. So this was before even the border blockades happened. So this had nothing to do with the issue of blocking transportation of goods to America or any of that fucking shit. All the stuff that happened in was it Alberta? Was it Alberta or Saskatchewan? Can't remember. But that whole thing right there, they used some Emergencies Management Act, which is a provincial thing. It's different from the federal Emergencies Act that was implemented by Trudeau there. Essentially what this does is this is just basically attacking the protesters. This is just attempting to stop people from going out and supporting the convoy.
Oh, now, not even like blockading, but like actually like supporting them.
Yeah. They just don't want you on the roadsides, basically doing what they were doing in that first video. They don't want you roadside supporting the convoy.
Yeah, I see it here. This directive also applies to people who stop or gather alongside Highway 104, the Nova Scotia-New Brunswick border, or at the Quebec-Wood Pass toll area in support of the 2022 Freedom Convoy, the Atlantic Hold the Line event, or others organized to interfere with traffic.
Yeah, see, they go on the position that this is about, ensuring continued traffic flow and so on, but yeah, no, it was literally just to stop people from stopping alongside. Obviously, you can't stop alongside a highway. Like the videos that we saw, the vast majority of those videos are overpasses over the highway. They're not highways necessarily themselves.
With
it's
a free lane.
It's illegal to stop on a highway in Canada. And fair enough. You shouldn't just be stopped fucking around on a highway. Like if you're pulled out on the side of the road on the highway and you're just sitting there and a cop comes by, they will stop and be like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Because you either need help, like you got a flat tire, or there's some medical emergency or something else going on, or you're literally getting a huge fine right now because you're just parked on the highway. But again, that's not what this is about. I don't feel like people were stupid enough to stand on highway overpasses, which were, posted at 80 kilometers or over themselves, standing on the side. Like we're not going to put ourselves at risk like that. You saw the video initially of like, it's not just people standing alongside the like concrete barriers. It's also people like parked up like cars and trucks along the side of the road. We're not doing that on a fucking highway. We've watched enough videos of cops pulling people over in traffic stops and getting absolutely slammed by people on the highway. Like that's how cops die. They're stopped on the side of the road and somebody just comes in not paying attention, whatever, fucking clips it in a huge accident. It's like, we're not going to risk doing that to support the convoy. So we're going to use our heads and we're going to stop on roads where it's appropriate. But basically, Nova Scotia was like, no, you're not allowed to stop anywhere now. Fuck you. Well, at the same time, listing right underneath in the quick facts, as you can see, outdoor gatherings of more than 20 people are prohibited under the Health Protection Act order. What the fuck does that have to do with roadside stoppages? Like, it's interesting that you would tag that on the exact same page. So yeah, they were already attacking the convoy before the convoy even got there. We're already attacking supporters.
Here's footage from the bridge in where is this? In Windsor. This is the main one with $300 million worth of goods passing each day. Completely blockaded. Which is the least they deserve. Look at all those trucks.
When you're
Holy
trying to
shit.
make a point, especially when you're talking about truckers, like if anybody has the right to do this, it's the trucking industry. They're the ones using this bridge every day. They're the red blood cells that are running this friggin' body we call a country. And yet, you hit them with those mandates. What do you expect?
Found more footage of the truckers there.
And the best part is it wasn't just truckers. It was also just people who joined the convoy. You could just join it. You see people in their trucks. Now, these people in their trucks, they might be locals. They might have, money and enough baggage to last them the trip. They might intend on staying. God knows. There's a fire truck.
An RV.
Big Winnebagos and yeah.
Imagine Justin Trudeau seeing this footage and he still has the gall to come out and say this fringe movement. Fringe? Look at the numbers, man.
No, not even. The best part was that he saw this movement and he came down with COVID.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. He said, yeah, literally, I just remembered this. The day, that the convoy finally arrived in Ottawa, in the final days where they were gathering, Trudeau came down with a case of COVID.
Yep. He goes, I've isolated myself. And he gave an address from some cottage property whose location's probably, kept top secret or something.
Because of honking.
And I remember he never really addressed the convoy, even when he did his daily little COVID addresses. He talked about the other people. He was like, or everybody else. He was like, now is a time to come together. Really, motherfucker. A little late for that.
Yeah, I found more footage of them leading up to the drive over. This is the Keelan 401 in Toronto.
Oh yeah, it was huge. And that's the thing, is actually seeing this, seeing the convoy moving in person would have given you a better scale than anything that I saw, honestly, here in Ottawa. Because they blocked them so hard that we didn't end up seeing the vast majority of these people.
Yeah, well, notice the news rarely played any of this footage. They wanted to downplay it to the best of their ability, but that was just impossible. Absolutely impossible to do. There's no ignoring this.
I remember a clip of, I think it was CBC who was there on site. They had one of these roadside support groups, right? Standing there supporting the convoy as they rolled by on the road. And CBC basically walked in there, found a single group on the ass end, chunked them off, faced the camera this way, and showed 4, 5, 6 supporters as the convoy was rolling by. And then somebody else on their phone came around and they look at them with the phone and they go, if you turn around behind you, there's hundreds of people.
Yep.
The CBC's not going to show you that.
Yeah. No, they absolutely blockaded the whole fucking thing. All the news coverage, everything. They made it so that it looked like the convoy was small and insignificant, and like these people don't realize there's quite literally millions of us out there. There's quite literally millions of us out there. Look at this. Look at all these trucks, man. Also, everyone driving uniformly. Nobody going batshit crazy. Everyone just following the rules of the road. No upside down semis. Nothing. It's just order. It's ordered chaos. Look, like you got water, food. Everyone's
Basically,
helping
like
each other.
pop-up soup kitchens, like for everybody.
Yep. Couldn't have happened to a nicer crowd. Let me see if I can find some more footage before we get into coverage of what the convoy was like.
Well, and when this
Day
is
to
the people
day.
you attract, like what does that say about your movement? You know,
Yeah,
let's
nobody's
have that
fucking
little
around.
discussion. We're not burning anything. Nothing was on fire.
Nope.
There was a handful. You know what? There was a barrel that was on fire. I will say it myself. There was a
warmth.
barrel that was on fire. It was for warmth, and
Yep.
this fucking OPP or whoever swiftly put an end to that shit. So
Yeah. There's some more footage. Just truck after truck after truck after truck. Look at that. It speaks for itself.
yeah,
And look, here's yet another
behold.
example of just how orderly and organized this thing was. People in the shoulder, not even on the road, in one of the roads there, and
You
everyone
guys
else
notice our
just
traffic
driving
is
along.
moving.
Yeah,
That's weird.
driving along smoothly, no issues. Nobody out on the street blockading, just waving flags. All right, so,
Out in the
oh
snow.
yeah, I also found a map of where the blockades were. So there was one in Alberta, and another in
Yeah, the
Windsor.
Coots was the big one.
Yeah, and then Ambassador. That was the one with the 300 million traffic going through it every single day. And then of course Ottawa, and I found also a map of where the Ottawa convoy was. So there was an encampment near Carleton, at a local recreation center as well. There's a big parking lot there apparently. There's also some on Coventry, which that's near where we used to live.
That's walking distance, bro.
That's actually walking distance from where we used to
That's
live.
walking distance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wish I still lived there at the time. That was such a bummer to hear that they had because it was huge at Coventry. They even had like a massive. I don't want to say like a brawl, but they had it out with police there a couple times because they were in the, if I'm remembering correctly, they were in the parking lot for the, what are they called? The Ottawa Champions baseball team.
Oh yeah.
Baseball stadium. And since it's the middle of winter, well, there's no baseball. So giant open parking lot. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was basically everything that happened was within walking distance of where we used to be. Like I could have walked down to Wellington.
I remember when they tried to set up near what is that, Confederation Park?
Mm-hmm.
They tried to set up there, but they kicked them out, I'm pretty sure.
Well, they set up there and they were there for a couple days. They were there before they finally walked in and got rid of them, because what they had set up in Confederation Park there was basically like a rest stop. It had porta potties they had built. Like they brought building materials.
Yeah, I found it here.
Yeah, they brought building materials and they set up shacks. They set up like warming areas. They set
That's
up
so Canadian.
outhouses.
That's so Canadian, man.
Look at that shack, man. Like, just put a beaver on it in a fucking beanie with a pom pom on the top of it, and I mean, it's
That's it.
it's
Job well done.
spitting Canadian fever over here, and I.
That's nuts,
But yeah,
bro.
they had outhouses, which was the bigger one, because there was really nowhere for people to go. And that's something we'll probably get into too, is how they systematically, slowly tried to squeeze us out.
There's that house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they removed it. That was when they removed the shack.
Mm.
Yeah, there's the guy that's dismantling it. I mean, a job's a job, I guess, especially during COVID. Like, what's that guy gonna do? If he says no, somebody else is gonna do it. So
Yeah, but that's the problem, though, right?
yeah. Who knows? I don't know his life circumstances, so I can't really say. But everyone made their choices then. Yeah, here is yeah, there's a ceremony that was held, and the Algonquin Nation said that it doesn't support the
Mhm.
what the like what, as if they need your permission. They need your permission to these natives because I mean he looks native.
That's not what I remember.
Well, no, but like there was support, but like the actual the nation, the Algonquin Nation, the like
Oh,
the actual tribe, they came out against it. Which like okay, so what? You guys are gatekeeping who can be native now? What the fuck?
but again, it's like, oh, come together and so on. It's like, okay, as much as I find it a joke to do the land acknowledgments and everything, if you want to sit down and smoke a peace pipe, in like, go for it. I don't care. It's part of your culture. Go nuts. I'm not that racist. Like,
Yeah.
everyone, that was the thing. Everyone was welcome. I didn't care who was there.
Oh yeah, here it is. Chief says permission wasn't granted to hold
Yeah.
pipe ceremony or erect teepee on Algonquin lands. Oh, they need your permission. They need your permission to smoke a peace pipe. Okay, go
So
fuck
Canadians
yourself.
fighting for Canadians are fought by the real Canadians. Okay. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So here, I'll play this in the background while you mention what was it like actually seeing it on the ground from the beginning days there.
Well, I remember showing up. This wouldn't have been the first day. It looks too warm. It was so cold, man. It was so cold that first weekend.
If you got
But
photos to
there
pull up,
was,
let me know. I'll show them on stream.
well, if you wanted to start going through them, like, I can basically like kind of list off what was going on, and um
Yeah.
like, even if you just want to start with the photos. Oh man, the amount of people that were there. See, that's the thing that you're not getting from the video right now, is that there were so many fucking people there that first weekend. And yeah, obviously, like with events like this, you're gonna have people come out who are just there to,
Party and whatever. Yeah.
have the experience, party and so on, because there were parties going on. There were parties, but I
I remember seeing
remember,
dance music. People were like actually just dancing to fucking rave music. Yeah, which like fine.
yeah,
That's the whole part of it. Get
yeah,
out and fucking dance.
no, go nuts. It was great. It was a great way to stay warm. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, exactly.
So basically, what I remember was that at this point, there's basically a block around, like, starting from Wellington all the way down, coming down, like, I think it went as far as like Bank Street and so on. They had people rallied all the way down the friggin' John A. McDonald Parkway.
I remember Bank Street because there was that one case of that jogger, whatever, that came out in his like pink or orange coat. That's an
Oh,
infamous
him.
video where he starts like
Yeah.
getting in people's faces and yelling at the top of his lungs, and he's getting drowned out by the horns so badly. That was an infamous video. I remember that. That was the
Great video.
funniest shit. Just seeing him break down and seething. Oh, it was just mwah,
Get
fucking
out of my
perfect.
city. He's wearing the mask. It's falling down. He picks it up. Get out of my city. Oh my God. What rights have you lost? What rights have you? You want me to list them off or like? And the two guys are just laughing at him because it's like, are you? So you're steaming and I'm having a grand old time over here. Can you understand right
Yeah.
where the issue lies? It's not over
Yeah.
here.
Like it
But
wasn't like if it was like an actual fascist thing, they would have knocked the guy out cold and fucking dragged him to an alleyway. It's like no, they're just laughing in your
No.
face.
Yeah, I don't need to do any of that. That's ridiculous. That's not my first instinct. My first instinct is to laugh at you.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember they had that whole area blocked off. So we were trying to figure out. Like I was living outside of the city at the time, so getting into the city was the biggest pain in the ass. And then figuring out how exactly we're supposed to get downtown, because systematically they started to shut down. I think they shutting down bus routes, or was it the stupid fucking O train? Or that might have been later on. Early, yeah, I think early days every stop on the O train was working. So basically, we parked up across the city, and then we grabbed the train. And grabbing the train is where it really popped off, because people were showing up all hours of the day, heading down whenever they could. So there was just kind of like a constant stream of people heading down. So standing in the station, I'm standing there and I'm looking around, and I'm with a couple family members and family friends. And I'm looking around at some of these other groups, and you can tell who's there for the convoy. Not only are these people like either plastered in Canadian flags or just openly holding Canadian flags, got them wrapped around them or whatever, but none of them have a mask on. None of them. And for me, anyways, that was one of the first times that I had seen like open rebellion, essentially. And at that point, it got me thinking. It was like, wait, why am I wearing a mask right now? Why is my family wearing a mask right now? And then once I sat down in the train, I realized, yeah, no, I don't need this. Like, this is the whole point of what we're doing. Took it off. I ended up, and then you end up just talking to them. These random people that you know are heading down, and they were all smiles. I remember this one older gentleman on the first day on the train heading down. We were just talking and joking, and he was in high spirits. The rest of my group kind of were still hesitant to take the mask off. The vast majority of them were, of the female persuasion, let's say. So they were still, a little worried of getting in trouble or anything.
Of the
at one
female
point,
persuasion. I mean, these
At
days
one
you don't
point,
know. These days you don't know.
Okay, you know what? They were women. I'll say it. That at one point we did have I don't know, special constable or something. Basically like a glorified security guard for
Transit officer?
Transpo.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point he came over and he asked me to put the mask on, and I reached down and I was like, oh yeah. He goes, you still need to wear a mask in here, buddy. And I'm like, yeah. And I reached down and I went to grab it, put my hand in my pocket, took my hand back out and just walked away.
Yeah, get fucked, buddy.
He goes, you need to put a mask on. I'm like, yeah. I just waved him off. It's like I'm not playing with that right now, because how many times have you done this today? Like, at what point are you going to realize you're actually going to lose your voice talking to this many people coming to and from who are just refusing to comply? Like, you're not going to call me out. Why? Because I came out alone, seemingly alone. Like, I kind of came out of the train before the rest of the group did, and like I said, the rest of my group were basically wearing masks. And like, you're going to call me out? No, absolutely not. You're just going to pick on me because I'm alone. Yeah, and then getting there, like, man, coming out of the train station, that was the last time we were gonna feel warmth. It was fucking cold. It was brisk. We stepped out into kind of the foyer area for the bus station just before you head out into the street. And I remember seeing a group of guys there, and they had a flag with them. It was a white flag with the orange, was it an orange circle? And like the red slash through it or something like that. And at the time, I didn't know what that flag actually meant. So I walked over and I was like, guys, what? I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, what does the flag represent? Because I wanted to know, right? It's like, I'm not walking out into this protest if this group is aligned with some, something I don't know or don't support or don't respect. Like, I'm not going there.
Your video feed went down, by the way. Oh, you're back.
Really?
You're back now.
Yeah. Don't know.
Dropped out for a second. No, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I basically
Orange
didn't
flag,
want to
yeah.
associate with these flags if I didn't know what they represented.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that I asked, he turns around, he says something in French, basically along the lines of what I could make out to is, boys, what do these flags represent? And they go like, no vaxing, and he turns and looks at me and kind of smiles. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, thanks. And I walked away. And I was like, well, that was a kind of a weird interaction, but you know what? At least I know now. Yeah, none of them have masks on. Everybody's warming up, and then you headed outside, and it was pretty cool. The OC Transpo station that we ended up at was a little farther downtown, so we had to walk up a couple blocks to get to Wellington. But man, when you got to Wellington, the amount of people, you could hear it, you could feel it walking up the street. Just the buzz of that many people in one place, and then on top of that, the horns just going off. Like it was a human bee's nest. The sound was insane. Like, unfortunately here, this is probably after the cease and desist order. They're pretty quiet.
Oh, for the honking. Yeah, you're right. Let me see if I can
but they were
footage of
going.
Hold on. Where is that video? I had some footage there. Just want to give people oh, here it is. Oh, less honking, more dancing. Oh, I'm gonna get fucking they're gonna flag me for that song.
Some of my videos will have my videos will definitely have the honking.
Okay, let me see if I can pull one up here. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Hold on. I forgot to do this. Gotta add another audio source. Bear with us for 1 second, guys.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Because we're just two dumbasses who don't know what we're doing.
Photos, media player. There we go. Whoops.
But yeah, no, it was a lot. The amount of people was insane. Like I have a video at some point. I'm sure it'll pop up and I'll reference into it. But it's from the top of the bank, right on Wellington. There. What bank is that? Got a pretty nifty design to it. Is it the? Is it the Bank of Canada? No. What building is that? Fuck, I can't remember.
Wait, there's a bank.
But basically, it's built in such a way that it's almost like built into ground level. So it's built up and comes into like a point at the top, and it has railings along the side. So you can actually walk up on top, on like the roof of this building, and get like a whole view of Wellington all the way down from the bridge, basically all the way past down the hill heading towards Rio Center. And there was so many people. And at first it was kind of I'll be honest with you. At first, it was kind of a shock. Like it took me. I'm gonna say it took me a couple days to realize like what was really happening and how this all felt. Um, but we just ended up starting at the beginning. We just started walking through the crowd. We didn't have a plan about, where we were going, where we were going to meet up or anything like that, because there was really there's no itinerary to these things. You don't know what's going on. So we just ended up walking, starting more towards Bank Street, and then heading down Wellington all the way to basically the corner there at Rito. And on the way down, you're just snaking through the crowd. There's so many people. They're shoulder to shoulder, that you're following the person in front of you, or you're not going through. And in this video, you can actually see like me being the front runner, having to kind of push my way in to even get up on here, because there was people everywhere. Like this area in particular ended up emptying up later on, because, like I said, there was like 3 times the amount of people here on the weekend than there ended up being on any other weekend, at least. But you can see like crazy amount of people, and people of all different sizes and religions and nations. And you can see flags from all over the place. Like there were people you saw the sign about Poland. There were Polish flags. There's Italian
Mexican
flag.
No.
Yeah, there's people from all over, and nobody cares. And not a single mask was seen. The closest thing you'll see to a mask is somebody with a scarf over their face, and that's just because it's cold. But that was the thing, is we were isolated for so long and ripped away from the basic like human need of, like, I don't know the biology of it, but there has to be, or the psychology of it, but there has to be a natural need to see another human being's face.
Oh yeah. The worst thing we do to people is we literally lock them up alone. That's the worst thing we do to people. We leave them alone.
Oh, this is actually the bank video, so you can see how you kind of come up to this point here, and you can get a view of all the people. It's a little farther down than I initially thought, but it's you can see all the trucks leading all the way down, and yeah, and just people talking, and not a single mask. Just seeing other people's faces was huge. And then again, the whole thing of seeing that, these people actually share the basic values that I have, or on this topic. It was surreal, but it didn't really hit on the first day. I remember heading down the street farther towards Rito, and there were a bunch of cars that were parked up, right? These are people who were just joined the convoy at some point. These weren't truckers themselves. And they had already set up shop. They already had little campers ready to go, sitting in lawn chairs, drinking coffee. And on the way by, I remember there was this woman there, heavier set woman, and she was holding a poster that basically all it said was "free hugs." That's all it said. Because, again, at this point we had social distancing, right? So you weren't even allowed near people. And again, I'm sure there's some biological thing to like being close enough to people to get some like scent or pheromone or something, or interacting in a fucking biosphere of other human beings. So when that individual was offering free hugs, like it was so much more than just a damn hug. It was the realization that, okay, this is okay. Because we had been in COVID for 2 years now, right? And after 2 years of being told it's literally not okay to even be near a stranger, let alone touch them.
A random stranger you've never seen in a giant crowd like this.
Yeah. But that will dig away at you, Like there are times where I'm at work and I'll pat my coworker on the back or something when we do something, give somebody a fist bump, something like that. You weren't allowed to do any of this during COVID. So now you have somebody who's offering out free hugs, And I remember my mom was with us, and she went up and she got a hug, and she broke down. She started crying on that stranger's shoulder, just from that hug. And it was great to see. It was a moment where, okay, we can start being human again. We can start being a community again. You know, and that realization that you're not alone, that there are people willing to take those risks, same as you. You know, when I told that transportation officer, yeah, with your mask, you know, there's a part of you that goes, I'm rebelling right now. I'm openly rebelling against this. And then you stand outside and you see all these people and you go, oh no, this isn't even a problem that I should be thinking about. Like the problem isn't, oh, I feel bad about not wearing a mask in areas I should or am told to. The issue is that we're all here to stop these policies to begin with. But yeah, no, it was a crazy amount of people. And you know what? A lot of white people. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
A lot of white people.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking through the videos, a lot of white people.
Yeah.
Old, young, doesn't matter. And the first day was also the day that they decorated, I'm going to say decorated, the Terry Fox statue, which you can't see here. It's in behind the truck. I don't know if I actually
it's in this area right here.
Yeah,
Right here.
yeah. Well, it's a little in behind to the left. But yeah, no, that happened. Seeing that, this
might be it. That's right there. Right there.
Oh yeah, and then all the fuck Trudeau flags. There he is. He's got the Canadian flag around his neck, draped over his left shoulder, and then he's holding a hockey stick with a Canadian flag as well.
Yeah.
That was our desecration. That was our desecration of the Terry Fox statue.
So desecrated.
But at the time right now, none of us hear this. None of us feel, look at all the flags, man. Look at all the red and white just on the horizon above everybody's heads. Look at all that.
It's a sea of flags. Insane.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And nothing had really started at this point. Nobody had, begun doing talks or whatnot, because eventually they would set up a stage right by the crane truck here. And they'd have people coming on and guest speaking. And I think was it Ezra from Rebel News? I think he was there at one point giving a speech.
Ezra Miller.
Is he the guy with Rebel?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah. I think he was there. I think I remember seeing, as I was going through the clips, a portion of him speaking. There were doctors on there, people from the Canadian Health Board who didn't agree with any of this, people who lost their licenses, their medical licenses. And at one point, they would literally just have an open mic, essentially. They would say, look, if you want to talk, come up to the table, put your name down, and we'll fit you in. And you can stand up there and you can say your piece. You can say what you got to say. Which was crazy, because there were times where, people are up there and they're breaking down. They're saying, my family has completely disowned me because I don't believe in what the Canadian Health Board is telling us or in the vaccine and so on. And my daughter refuses to visit me for anything now. She's, double vax and boosted at this point. And it was an open forum. It was crazy. It wasn't really run by anybody, it felt like. Canada, was it Canada United? Is that what they ended up calling themselves? And Tamara Lich and Patrick King, they were the leaders of the convoy. But it didn't. Yeah, but it didn't feel like it was led by anybody. It was just, again, people just showed up and started. Okay, what do we need? Oh, well, we need somewhere for people to go to the bathroom. That's only a a basic human right, A, and common sense, B. All right, we're gonna build a shack in Confederation Park. Oh, this one. Yeah.
That guy's got a coffee cup too. Doesn't look like liquor. He just got a coffee cup. Or that woman.
That started controversy too, because they were like, "Oh, they're desecrating the grave of the unknown soldier." What?
No, there's okay. So the incident that we're talking about, there was a woman, and I have it's in one of the clips here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. But there was an incident involving a woman where she was dancing on the snow on top of the monument, and people immediately like told her, "Hey, you can't just do that. I understand that we're here to have a good time and to speak truth to power, but I'm just gonna cycle through these videos and hopefully find it. Um, but you can't just do that." And she immediately stepped off. And all the news reports that were talking about it were saying she felt extremely remorseful immediately afterwards, like all the coverage around that event. And it got blown out of proportion because people are like, "Oh my God," they hear the word desecrating and they think that somebody was taking a piss and a shit on it. When that could not have been further from the truth. She did a little dance, made a little love, and then she got
Yeah.
down.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that
Did you not
because
get my references there? I can't believe you didn't get my reference there.
yes, I got your reference.
Okay, well, it was pretty fucking sneaky. So like, and here's footage of people actually clearing the monument, right? So once again, all the evidence of people saying it was desecration. Look at this.
I want nothing to talk to you, propaganda scumbag. You are a propaganda scumbag. You're a propaganda scumbag. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're just as responsible for all this garbage as they are. Leave.
Flowers lighting down. They're clearing the snow off of it.
Well, that reminds me of something else I completely forgot. Those streets, the streets in downtown were immaculate. Because everybody who was down there would help with shoveling.
Yeah.
That place was clean as fuck.
Yeah.
Snow, garbage, clean. It was fucking clean.
And look at that. If this video was more high res, I would download it and use it as an intro. But unfortunately, it's not. It's fucking 720p. Because that is a heritage moment right there. That should be a heritage moment. But let me see if I can find that video. I should have one of her dancing. But you were gonna say sorry?
You just showed it of her dancing. You had
No.
it up there.
Was that actually the one?
Yeah.
Wait, that was it?
It was that short. She was up there.
Wait,
she
what?
said something. That was it, man. That was the video. That was the clip. Yes.
No, you're kidding. This is it? This is it right here?
The original video. Yes, this is the video.
Oh, she is standing on the tomb.
She does that. She does that little jig. They tell her, like, okay, you should probably get
3
down.
seconds.
She gets down. That's it. That's the whole video.
She was up there for 3 seconds.
Yep. That's the whole video. But that also reminds me of a bunch of the other incidents, right? Because this is exactly what happened. They would try to get these gotcha moments. Only a day later to you must have
that apartment story.
No. I was saying,
but that's a good one. That's a good one. We'll show that.
Yeah, but one thing at a time, right? Because that one has a little bit more controversy behind the others. But the what the hell happened? Okay, hold on. I got to get back into the drive here.
No, that incident was not controversial at all because they had like a photo of the culprit. The guy had blue hair. So for those who don't know, we'll get into this later. But just as a quick aside, there was an incident where I forget for what reason, but there were some convoy protesters that were hanging around this apartment block, and at some point had made it inside, I guess, or were standing outside of it. I forget what the exact details were, but they were there, and then all of a sudden a fire alarm went off. And people were like, holy shit, are they like starting a fire? Oh my God, what's going on? And then it turns out some fucker went to Canadian Tire, bought the first fire starter kit that he saw, placed it underneath somebody's door and or outside of someone's door and tried to light it. They found photos of the suspect and the guy was wearing a mask with blue hair. Now, one thing I am seeing very little of is the blue-haired crowd here in all the footage that we've seen. I mean, yes, it's -20 people are wearing hats, but let's be real here. If you have blue hair, that's kind of a signal of where your politics lie to an extent. It's a good what's it called? Weather vane
Indicator.
or yeah, indicator.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. No press charges, no investigation, nothing. And then the convoy was linked to that incident. And even when people debunked it, they were still like, no, these people were violent. Okay.
Well, talking about pressing charges, what about the hacker who fucking hacked all those people's information and then openly said, "Yeah, I'm the one that did it"? I can't even remember that whole incident through and through, but what did he do exactly again?
He hacked the information of the people that were giving money to
That
either
were
GoFundMe
donating?
or Give Send Go, and he
Yeah.
released that information.
Yeah. And then I remember the video of him being like, "Yeah, no, I'm the one that did it." It's like, okay, so you just admitted to what? Cyber fraud?
Yeah, he admit to it, and he was purported to have worked with CSIS in the past. Yeah, the Canadian hacker who publicly admitted to hacking the fundraiser of the Freedom Convoy is Aubrey Cottle, known online by the handle Curtaner or simply Curtaner. Does he still have a Twitter? Nope, he deleted his account. Of course he did. He has a long history of high-profile hacks and claims of involvement in various operations. He was arrested in Canada and taken into U.S. custody related to other breaches, including a 2021 Texas GOP data theft and linked to the Give Send Go incident. Good.
Good.
The data leaked exposed personal information of donors. No other prominent Canadian figure has been tied to a public admission for directly hacking. Okay. This admission led him to facing death threats from the Freedom Convoy supporters. The leaked data was distributed via sites like Distributed Denial or DDoS Secrets. Quote, yes, I doxed the truckers. I did it. It was me. I hacked Give Send Go, baby, and I do it again. I hope you enjoy your lengthy prison sentence.
It's just it's unreal to me that you're that proud of it. You know what I mean?
We don't typically read chat on stream, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I just had a message, and somebody said that, can I send videos to watch on stream? If you got something related to the Freedom Convoy, then by all means. If it's off topic, then no. We are focusing on the Freedom Convoy, and if you have something unique to share, by all means, you can drop a link in the chat, and we will investigate whether that's worth showing. What were you looking for, though, Mr. Fireside?
No, I did you delete the media file in the drive?
No, I didn't. I did not delete it. What video are you gonna
Well,
show?
we were talking initially about how these incidents tended to unfold at the convoy. So the incident about the woman dancing, right, was quickly dealt with. It was over
immediately,
right?
Yep.
Immediately. On day one, and this was a big talking point about the convoy. I did see a handful of Nazi symbolism, right? Because they wanted to say, "Oh, look at all these Nazis," blah blah blah. There was one Confederate flag that was at the convoy, and that guy was there day one, and then never saw him again. There were, I think, 3 instances that I saw at least of like Nazi imagery, but again, it was all directed at Trudeau, right? It was all like anti-fascist, like Trudeau messaging.
Yep,
that's what it was.
Literally attached to a fuck Trudeau flag.
Even that is more blatant than what I saw, because what I would see was like a picture of Trudeau's face, given the toothbrush mustache with the red band around his arm, and that was the only thing on the poster that was Nazi symbolism, or a picture of Trudeau's face with the swastika next to it with a big red like circle with an X through it. This was the imagery I was seeing, the Nazi imagery. And then immediately after that, I believe, Tamara Lich and the other organizers openly said, hey, if you're showing this imagery at the protests, don't bother coming. Okay? It's not a good idea. It doesn't represent what we're trying to do here. You're doing nothing but hurting our image. Please don't do it. And then after that, I didn't see anything else ever again.
Yeah, it literally
And
came and went. It just blew up and then it immediately left because
the one guy who, sorry, go ahead.
because if the movement was actually a Nazi movement, do you not think that if these people were actually down for the cause, okay, if we're actually just thinking analytically, Nazis are not exactly the quickest to hide, you know, but behind any kind of slogans or anything like that. They will like actual legit honest to god Nazis. They will salute in front of a synagogue. Okay, they will they will do that shit. They are proud of it. Okay,
Mhm.
if this movement was actually about Nazism and instilling that, right? If this actually had any Nazi ties, do you think they'd be hiding behind it, or do you think they'd actually be goose stepping in front of Parliament? Like,
Mm.
which one is actually more Nazi like? Just the cower and run away, or we are doing a show of force here? Let's just think. Let's use our fucking noggins here for a second and remember what the Nazis were like, and let's compare the two. Because I'm not really seeing the comparison here.
Well, the other funny thing is that I'm just realizing this now, is that they wanted to call us Nazis, while at the same time would later implicate us that of Russian involvement.
So are we
Well,
Russians or Nazis?
we can't be both, man.
Like which one?
I'm pretty sure if anybody hates the Nazis as much as most people do, it's the Russians.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed a lot of us. they killed they killed quite a bit of us way back when in the olden
Like they
days.
can't even keep the story straight on what they actually want to accuse us of, right? But this is how things were dealt. So the Terry Fox thing, we put up the flags on Terry Fox as we saw there. The next day, after the news absolutely blasted us for desecrating the statue, we got rid of all the flags. We took it down, flowers at his feet, cleaned it up. And then there was an Instagram post made that's what I was looking for in the drive, but I couldn't find the file. That there was an Instagram post made like the day after that said, "All right, CBC, here you go. You wanted to say that we're desecrating stuff and blah blah blah, and we're pissing all over Canada's heritage, and we're not really here for Canada, and we have ulterior motives and agendas. Here we go. Here, look, we cleaned it up just for you." Same thing with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We cleaned it up. Same thing with the Nazi symbolism. That's gone now.
Yeah.
Like what else? What? Every time you tried to pop off something, every time you tried to blame us of something, it was gone. And like you had mentioned in the podcast before, even the guns that were found at the Coots blockade, it's not like they were just handed out to civilians. It's not like they found them all in people's hands or under their coats. No, they were just there.
They were in a trunk.
Yeah, it's like, do I agree with it? No. You probably should leave your guns at home for shit like that if we're not like really getting violent, because that's not the point of what we're doing. But that's basically the feel of the entire movement. As soon as we were blamed for a guy having Nazi symbolism, it's like, yeah, don't do that. Don't come back. Don't come back if you're going to run those symbols. So you're not with us. Well, and Canada United even stated as much.
I just found this photo right here of the man who had the flag, and it's just like, huh, that's interesting. Why are you wearing a balaclava and sunglasses? Why are you so masked up that everything, I mean, literally every identifiable thing about you is hidden? You're dressed up like you're supposed to, like, just only show your lips.
Yeah. Just to prove what color your skin is, I guess.
Like that's very strange. And he was kicked out. Like,
well, and the other story was, the other story was that there was a guy who was running around with like the Nazi flag, like the red, and nothing else on it, because that was the thing. With everything else, you would see like "fuck Trudeau," where the U would be replaced with like a swastika or something like that, right? And again, going at Trudeau, not saying, "Oh, we're Nazis" or whatever, but the guy running the actual like plain ass Nazi flag. There was a whole conundrum about him being a plant because he was seen running around with a cameraman.
Yeah, that he was there.
An actual cameraman, or he was. Yeah. But that's the thing, is like you hear stuff like this, and you're like, okay, and then you never see him again. He was there on the first day, and the photos were down at the Rideau intersection. And there was another photo taken from farther up Rideau of the guy with the Nazi flag and his fucking cameraman who's got like a $10,000 fucking setup on him. And he's taking photos of this guy. I don't know. It's just fucking weird. But again, we dealt with all that.
Well, there was
everything we did wrong that they tried to pin us on, we dealt with swiftly.
The rumor going around at the time was that he was Trudeau's photographer. That was supposedly the rumor, because apparently, like, somebody did. Well, just look, internet super sleuths looking at pixels. They were like, look, his body shape, what have you, it looks quite similar to his photographer. And this case, like, it still remains unproven. I'm sure CSIS and the RCMP have an idea of who this man is, because I guarantee you they were tracking every single cell phone signal that was going around there. But I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if our own government sent in agitators to this movement, because they did the same thing on January 6th. They've done the same thing with G8 protests before, and also the not the WHO, but oh, what was it? There was a world. Oh my God, was it the World Trade Federation? I don't even remember. But there were some protests in the early 2000s where they actually did find state-sponsored agitators within the crowds. I believe it was like 2003 or 2004 that happened, where they straight up just wouldn't let you within a certain radius of the building where they were having these meetings with the bureaucrats, because if you had a pin even talking about the protests on your lapel, they wouldn't even let you in. They would just deny you at the door. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was part of that, because why would you want to cover yourself completely? You know, people that actually genuinely believe in this, that want to use this movement as a way to push their ideas, they're not going to hide behind a mask, right? It's one thing for you to go out with your Proud Boys and do a solitary protest, you know, as your own group, but it's another to go into a group of thousands of people, you know, and just walk around loud and proud about it. So, like, why would he hide his face?
And that's the funny thing that you mentioned about the Guy Fawkes mask earlier, is that I did see a Guy Fawkes mask on the hill, but in that moment, my first thought was the same thing you just said. Why? Like, I get the symbolism and all that, but nobody else here is wearing masks. Nobody else is trying to be anonymous here. We're all down here.
Here's another photo.
Yeah, that guy
of the Nazi.
There's no way that would have been okay. Like, these people must have been told off by every single person that walked by. Like, you're being ridiculous.
They're literally pointing at them. They're telling them to fuck off. And then this is the same flag that we saw earlier with the fuck Trudeau shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, there it is.
Flag. Great.
Yeah, those people are in that photo are literally pointing at him to leave.
Yeah, because you're not welcome here.
There's a Canadian flag with a swastika on it.
That guy. That's the guy that I saw. The guy with the hat in the top right.
Yeah.
I saw him walking around. I didn't see the guy in the bottom right. Okay, so there's a couple more examples than I saw, but still, they were far and few between. And again, most of the symbolism had nothing to do with like this level of symbolism I can understand. You know? Having a poster that's portraying Trudeau as being a Hitler-like figure.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
It's nothing to do with it has an actual message of what's going on. And they've done the same thing in multiple protests afterwards. And before. I mean, come on, let's be real. The friggin' ICE protests. You don't think they have Nazi symbolism on them? Being like, oh, Trump's a Nazi. Of course they are. Of course they do. I've seen it.
These fucking retards drew swastikas on Teslas. Did we just forget about all that? Did we just forget about all that? Like, who's the actual Nazi here? Who's the actual Nazi here? All right, like, you guys are the ones that are painting. Like, if an actual Nazi would have gone out and painted his own Tesla with a swastika on it, would have celebrated it, been like, hell yeah, fucking Heil Elon, right? But they didn't do that. Yeah. It was the fucking retards on the left that did that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, everything was swiftly dealt with in any negative context whatsoever. But No, the convoy was the first day was just a blast. It was just an absolute blast. It was just people. Nothing had been set up yet. It was just a crap ton of people. Um, they played the Canadian anthem a couple times. Everybody sang it. Everybody sang it properly. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, before Trudeau went and changed the fucking anthem, which who gave him
Yep.
the right?
Everybody sang it properly. It was fantastic. It was such a great time. And leaving, God, I remember just we were glowing, man. It was a great time. It was so enriching just having experienced that on the first day that we couldn't shut up about it, and we were all smiling like idiots on the train ride back home. And then on the train ride back home, that's when the rest of my group ended up taking the masks off and being like, "Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that." Because on the train, there's say this train car alone, there's probably like say 14, 15 of us, and only 2 of us are wearing masks, and those people aren't with us. Those people are just doing their own thing, traveling their own route, whatever. The hardest part was immediately after getting home in the afternoon and seeing how we were being slandered on the media. That was atrocious. That hurt. Going from that level of being up there and having that experience and seeing what it was like and talking to these people and hugging it out and crying and telling our stories to random people next to us, whoever will listen. And then coming home and seeing CTV talking about all this Nazi shit. Talking about how we're all these white supremacist, right-wing people. And just ended up scaring the crap out of everybody else. To just go on like a little side tangent really quick. I remember later on, what would this be? This is 2024, I think. The guy I was working with, younger black kid. I'm gonna say he's fuck at the time, maybe he was 21, you know. So at the time of the convoy, he would have been like 19 or something like that. He was living downtown at the time, like very close to this. What is it? Something on my friggin' camera lens? God damn.
Probably.
Maybe it's just foggy, yeah.
No, just look, the snow is clear though.
The streets stayed immaculate, man. Like you'd think, oh, there was huge snowstorms going on during this time too, like once in a while. And there's a kid in a stroller, like people had bringing down their kids. There's the convoy of police that would casually walk through.
Yeah, you were talking about the black kid.
Oh yeah, it got to the point where he was telling me during the convoy that his family called him because his family's from out of town, called him and said like, "Hey, are you okay? Do you feel safe? Blah 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 blah. You should probably stay inside." Stay inside. We're not against black people. We're not against the black community. We're not going to lynch you. We're not going to string you up from the local tree. Like, what are you talking about? That's just ridiculous. But they painted us so hard with the imagery of the Confederate flag there and the Nazi symbolism that people were terrified to even leave their own homes, which wasn't the point of the convoy at all. And if you come out, you would actually see that.
Yeah, they were dealing with phantom honk syndrome. They gotta hear honks in their sleep. I'm not even.
Let me tell you what, the honk could give you a buzz.
I say that as a joke, but there was actually like a girl that, and we'll cover this in our next episode where we go over the public testimony that happened following the convoy, where this girl tried to make the case that part of the quote unquote PTSD that she experienced during the convoy led to what she called phantom honks. So this is like the after effect of the amount of honking that was going on was like just constantly going on in her head. Oh,
go back a little bit in that video.
Oh,
oh, or don't. But this here was basically the walk up to, like, watch this guy come out of the truck right here. He's like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?" Like, yeah, just anybody who was passing by. I was talking to all these people, getting their stories, seeing where they were from, why they were down here. You know?
That's wild, man. That's wild. I should have come. I should have come down. I should have fucking come. That's one
Yeah, well,
one of the biggest regrets that I've had because I don't know the next time we're gonna see something like that.
well later on, it really developed into something else, especially with the like the erection of the like snack stand or whatever it would have been called. It was the canteen. It was a little canteen basically, right in front of Wellington. The bouncy castles that were put up for the kids at a certain point. There was a hot tub set up. A couple guys with no shirts on, just lounging inside the hot tub. Like it was a grand old time. Like this video in particular, this moment, this was kind of the realization for me. Literally while taking this video, I ended up texting you at that point and saying like, man, like I'm getting choked up out here. And you can see this isn't half the people that were there the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I think this is the following weekend almost. And just seeing all these people, it was crazy. And everybody's having a great time. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. This is what it was. It was a good time. It was a party. They were playing music. You know, here they have the main stage where most people were talking all the time, where they would have like a live band. I remember there was a couple young rappers showed up there, busted out some songs about the convoy. Down the
We
street.
the Fringe.
We the Fringe. I saw that live. I saw him
We
perform
the
that live, and I'm like,
Fringe.
this is a banger. This is a banger.
Oh, we can play that. We can probably play that song. We're not gonna get copyright struck for that.
I wouldn't see why not. What's he's going to copyright us?
Let's see
If
if I can
anything, I
find
think
it.
it'd be exposure better than anything.
It's a little cringe, just a little bit, but it's
A little
like it's
bit,
good
but-
cringe. It's good cringe. Wait, is it the lyric video? Oh, because he never did a music video. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's get some audio on this.
Bumping. Yeah, not to mention he's got some footage himself in here.
Let him in, let him in, let him in.
But they stopped so many
Oh,
trucks.
Canada. Hey. We the Fringe. We the Fringe. We the Fringe. We the Fringe. Oh, Canada, Canada, Canada. This is the land of the patriot. They want to strip our freedoms away. There is no way they'll be taking it. Whoa. They want division, but we stand together united. Whoa, whoa, whoa. These are our rights, so you know it's the reason we fighting. Hey, we the Fringe. We the Fringe. We the Fringe. We the Fringe. Oh, Canada,
Big thumbs
Canada,
up.
Canada. This is the land where the natives walk. You know we standing together, we cut through the narrative just like a tomahawk. We are the North, we are the North. This is the land of the free. We do not care about color, your background, we standing on guard for thee. Hold up your flag with the maple leaf. This is the time to be loud, boy. Trucking to Parliament Hill, we coming in hot. There's no
Coming in hot,
stopping
there's no stopping this convoy.
This is our God-given right. The government ain't got no right. God don't keep giving us strength through the battle. You know that we winning the fight. Hey, we the Fringe. We the Fringe.
Oh, free hugs. There you go.
We the Fringe.
That might have been the lady.
Probably.
We the Fringe. 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 We the Fringe.
We the Fringe, baby.
Wow. And that video probably has some of the best examples of the amount of people that were actually there on the first day. The things they wouldn't show you. Because the other thing was the only camera that CTV had for Wellington is like their whatever weather cam, their like downtown weather cam, and it's on a building way the fuck over there, pointed in halfway the wrong direction. So even when they were showing the convoy, they never gave it, you know, it's just desserts. Hell, there were guys down there with drones, I remember. I remember watching a guy sneak down into an alleyway to launch his drone because it's illegal to fly drones in
Oh
downtown
yeah.
Ottawa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For good
And the
reason.
drone footage is fantastic. Like, I should have thought of that. But if we're able to find any friggin' footage of that, it was I remember it being amazing. This is a little farther down in Ottawa, but you can see like it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. And look, people randomly stop and point and talk to you. You know? Part of the police blockade right there.
Yeah, notice the clean streets.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some audio going here. Found the drone footage.
Oh yeah?
I was scrolling that whole time looking for it. Okay, let's mute that. There it is.
Look at that. It's friggin' ants, man. Like,
Look at that.
and it just keeps going. Like, we filled the streets. It was hard even walking between the trucks.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and went all the way down here, and then this is where they ended up having everybody stuffed onto the John A. McDonald. So there would have been a lot more. Like, they would have shut down the city. They would have shut down the city, and that would have been it. This protest would have lasted all of a week because nothing would have been getting accomplished.
Especially if they extended further east towards Vanier. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fucking that whole strip, they could have shut it down. They could have went up to the
They would have shut down everything between fucking Orleans and Canada.
and all they had to do was go like all the way you just to the edge of Byward where they have that dispensary now that used to be a second cup. If they just shut like that all the way, which is really like realistically, what is that? 2-3 blocks? Not even. If they just shut down that intersection as well, and honestly, the one too that was by that beer store that used to be there. I used to bomb that hill on my longboard. I remember that was fun.
The one on Rideau Street?
Yeah, but it's like where the homeless shelter is, but a street over.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they shut all that down, then they were fucked.
Yeah, well.
And also, not to mention, okay, more importantly, right, as we're talking about the peaceful nature of the convoy, I have an article here, which, if you'll allow me to find, there's an article that basically stated that the Freedom Convoy, during its existence in downtown Ottawa and off Parliament, there was less crime. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, because we were self-regulating.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that you have a movement of people that are openly against government tyranny and are for peaceful. Yeah, here it is. Less crime in affected Ottawa district since blockade began. Early data suggests.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing. When you have like-minded people who come together who have a shared value system and they become a self-regulating body, they display their values, and this is what it looks like.
Yeah, they police themselves.
They police themselves.
Once again,
they clean up after themselves. They clean up after other people.
Not a single car burned. Not a single shop vandalized. Nothing.
Yep.
The stories that they were telling were grasping straws. There was some case where they were like, "Oh, these people went to a soup kitchen and they were bothering the homeless," and nothing came out of that. No investigation. No like actual link to the convoy. If it was some assholes that were going to the convoy, it's like, okay, but where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? And also, number one, even
But
if that
again,
did happen, it's a fucking soup kitchen a couple blocks down. What do they even have to do with the convoy? Like, what
but
is
not
the
even
actual
that.
great crime?
Even if it did happen, it would have gotten the same reaction we saw that every other incident occurred. The organization would have come out and said, "We don't condone this. We're not a part of this. These people don't represent us." Simple as that. And yeah, I heard the same thing about the soup kitchen, and I've heard both sides. I've heard people say, "No, I had a friend who was working in the kitchen at the time, and that's what happened," and so on and so forth. But again, the bottom line comes to prove they were with the convoy. Because you know what else the convoy did? It also displaced a lot of homeless in the area. Because
Yep.
we were a honkin'.
Yep.
So now
Cleaned the streets.
we kind of pissed off the homeless population, and then
Cleared the
somebody
snow.
walks into a soup kitchen and starts shit.
Cleared out the homeless. You're welcome, by the way. Which, for anyone that's lived in Ottawa long enough, knows that whole fucking area is just ridden with them. So you're welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
I walked through Byward Market up and down the whole way. Everything was shut down, but I walked it just to see. I didn't see a one. We cleaned out Byward Market.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Did you a favor, Ottawa. Did you what you could never do on your own.
And we were repaid with constant fucking roadblocks being put in our way. One of the bigger ones being when they shut down Rito Center. So what they began doing was they started shutting down everything. They started shutting down businesses. They're like, "No, you can't operate while the Freedom Convoy is happening." Well, let me tell you what. We watched a guy drive in with that barbecue earlier on. The Wellington Meat Market is right there. How much money do you think they could have made off of the convoy?
Oh my god. All those businesses.
And
all the coats and
not
hats
only
and
did the
everything.
Wellington Meat Market shut down, but they also made a public statement saying how they don't agree with what's going on with the convoy and how it's hurting their business.
You could have made so much money.
You could have made so much money.
You could have made so much money.
You're so stuck in your ideological viewpoint that you can't even see the money you're leaving on the table.
Yeah, and then
That's
afterwards,
crazy.
and then afterwards, these people fucking had the gall to complain. Oh my god, the convoy affected my business. You shut down. You made the choice to shut down. They would have gladly given you money. You just didn't want their money because you have an ideological leaning that doesn't support their worldview. But in reality, do you realize how much money there is? It's not just the people in the convoy. It's the people visiting. It's the people that exist in Ottawa. Like, dude, you could have made so much money doing that, especially at a time like during COVID. You know, small businesses are struggling. Dude, that's a fucking heyday for Ottawa businesses right there. Are you kidding me?
A home run. Are you kidding me?
Bro.
It's right in your face. It's right there. Swing at it. Fuck.
They would have given you money just for the fuck of it. Like, that's how easy this was.
I'm pretty sure we left some pretty nice tips on locations that actually, remained open.
Of course.
Oh yeah, big dance party going on right there.
Yeah.
Grand old time. There were fireworks going off. You'll probably see a couple videos with smoke grenades. People were having flailing around.
No fights. No upturned cars.
No.
Whoops.
Nobody was in the mood for a fight. You couldn't walk in there with the mindset that I'm going to go fight somebody and stay mad. You couldn't. I don't think it's possible. You'd have to be a pretty shitty person to walk into that situation and remain pissed off.
Yeah. You'd have to be a Trudeau for that. Now,
yeah, in terms of some of the blockades, like when they shut down Rito Center, that was kind of the first kick in the balls, because the Rito Center, well, first of all, it's fucking Rito Center, it's a huge mall. So again, there's a farm boy in there. We can go get produce, clothing shops if it's getting a little chilly outside.
There's a corner store there. Smokes.
There's corner stores, Sport Check. There's fucking, it's a mall. There's a
There's
food court. Hello?
an Apple store in there in case they need
Yeah.
tech or whatever, repairs, yeah.
But not only that, it's warm. It lets people step out of the cold for a second, warm up. Oh, how about this? It also has functional bathrooms. So I can actually go, do my business, wash my hands proper, walk away, you know? But then they shut down Rito Center, and it wasn't anything to do with the convoy. They were saying, oh, something about they said something about them like loitering at the front doors or whatever, and it being a problem, or something
so
along the lines. But let me tell you
loitering
what,
that
it
happens
fucking,
now. The loitering that happens now is okay.
But the homeless there making the OC the O train fucking station smell like piss. That's perfectly fine though, right?
Dude, the first
They
week
shut
I
down the
remember
entire mall.
the first week that fucking O train station opened up, I vividly remembered. I was thinking, man, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Is
I
this
get
my
off
video?
work. Yeah, this is your video.
Oh, this is the crazy lady. Yeah.
I was like, I remember oh yeah, there she is.
Nuts. She's nuts. She's walking back and forth, screaming bloody murder.
Notice the hair?
Speaking about blue hair, people.
Yeah, you notice the hair? You notice I'm
There's
telling
your
you, man.
counter-protest, by the
I'm
way.
telling
There's
you,
your
man.
counter-protest. That's the biggest counter protest I saw. Just her.
And she's wearing a mask.
Just her, like, flipping people off and walking back and forth. This is what she did. And I listened to that guy. That guy's trying to talk to her, like, just asking if she's okay. Because, I mean, you see somebody pacing around like this, you know. Are you all good in the head? Did you lose your caretaker? Yeah, she's just walking around flipping everybody off.
Over a year ago, similar mass protests took place.
Oh yeah, this is just news coverage. I'll mute it just so that we don't get fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sideways. Whoops.
Oh, that video actually. Oh, so this is the Terry Fox.
Where they're
cleaning.
clearing it. Wow, look at that.
So we cleaned it off, made it pretty. And apparently it was so bad what we did that they moved it.
What was that? What was that? What was that, dude? What the
Whoops.
fuck was that?
Little screen caption on that one.
That's a good one. That's
Oh,
a good
fuck.
one. I like
That's
that.
funny.
That's solid. Here's some
Yeah.
more footage.
There you go. There's somebody with the smoke grenade. Or the flare or whatever.
Yeah, I can't believe like every time we talk about the convoy, it seems like just something new comes up, and I totally just remembered. Yeah, like all those businesses that were struggling during COVID. You know, this is kind of like the peak end of it. With the passports and everything, like they could have made so much fucking money if they had just gotten out of their own way and had actually just thought about the bottom line more than anything. You know, it's not as if like anyone forced them to shut down. At least I don't recall anybody actually being forced to shut down. Which, you know, why would the government even have
Well,
that right to tell you to shut down your business like that?
Yeah, but I think they were though, because otherwise, why would there have been that whole kerfuffle over that? Did we confirm if it was a cafe or what that we were talking about? That stayed open downtown and then was actually like basically raided by the police to the point where the business went under.
I'll see if I. Oh, I think. Well,
that one there.
This is the one that they were harassed and raided by police because they were trying to get people that were arrested, or they were looking to arrest some people that eventually escaped to this cafe, and they locked the doors so the cops couldn't get in. Is what I remember.
Oh, that's not what I remember hearing about this at all.
They're saying that they're going to break it.
No, they're just doing it for spite. No, doing it for spite. You have to show your face.
Whoa, that was aggressive.
Oh, head love on that one.
Somebody's a little mad.
Let me in. She took her mask off.
Of course, it's a woman.
Okay, share this out, you guys. Get it out everywhere. Now, get it out. They're saying they're going to break the window. They already walked you. That lady is wearing a mask. Keep sharing this out.
Yeah, I can't tell what they were saying. I don't know if they ended up breaking it. But yeah, this is a case where people came into shelter away from being arrested in the cafe. Well, they're like, oh, we can close the business down anytime. And what reason do you have to enter the business? Come back with a warrant. So good luck with that. Go fuck yourself. Which is absolutely the right attitude you need to take to cops in that very moment. You know, the left is so very anti-cop when it's convenient for them, but the moment that they actually start stamping on people's rights, they're all for it, so long as it's of a political allegiance that they don't agree with. You know, all this ACAB shit kind of went away the moment that stuff like this happened. People were cheering on the cops doing their thing here. It's like, oh, that's interesting. So you're willing to be flexible on that. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Rules for thee, not for me, right? It's fine that you mentioned that because in friggin' New York, I don't know exactly what's going on in New York right now, but essentially what I heard was that Mamdani there, whatever the fuck his name is, he's basically allowed the citizenry to attack police officers. So like throwing snowballs at them and shit now. Have you seen that?
I heard there was a snowball fight and some cops got hit, but I did not hear anything about Mamdani's
No, this was not a
reaction.
snowball fight and some cops got hit. This was two cops walking through a crowd of people getting absolutely annihilated by snowballs. And it's not fun and games. These cops weren't having fun.
Mm.
People would run over with handfuls of snow and like bop them on the back of the head with it and then peel off.
Oh,
and these
shit.
cops looked like they couldn't do shit about it. Like they couldn't I don't know. That's a video I saw. So I got a completely different story on what the fuck is going on.
Whoops.
But basically after that I saw a video of a police cruiser driving down the street, and again, like probably 100 people on the side of the road pelting this fucking cop car with snowballs, and he's over the loudspeaker like joking with them like, ha ha ha, this is so funny, and the person taking the camera is like, oh my god, that's so great, we love you. And it's like, this is love? Because the last video I saw was not love. And you as a police officer like making jokes with these people is fucking horrendous. These people hate you. They're out here in droves when they don't have to be, and just blasting you with snowballs because whatever. I don't know.
Can't say I recall, but you got any more convoy stories to share? I just got this footage playing here. Let me see if I can find some more of it.
Well, there was the Rito Mall shut down, which I had mentioned. There was the businesses that shut down. Then they came after Confederation Park, and they shut all of that down. So slowly they were removing critical assets, critical infrastructure people needed to survive there, which was their slow way of just trying to squeeze people out. But people find a way. There was people who was opening up their homes to truckers and, saying like, hey, if you need a washroom or something, drive up down this way and we'll let you use ours or whatever. You can shower and blah, 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 blah.
Remember these?
I was about to mention, because this was so great. I fucking loved this. So essentially what happened is that the Canadian government realized that these trucks couldn't operate and heat their passengers if they didn't have diesel.
The generators
so they banned, Oh, the generators as well. That's right. So they banned the open carry of diesel fuel,
because it was
and I'm
a
sure
fire
gasoline as
hazard,
well.
quote unquote.
Yeah, they labeled it as a fire hazard because people were walking around with these jugs and just giving them to any random trucker, being like, "Here you go," because this is what they need. You know, they don't necessarily need money. They'd rather take like whatever food you're offering. They'd rather take, diesel if you got it. And the best part about this was they realized, okay, so they're going to ban us, and they started confiscating all the fuel. And I remember watching the videos of them because they had like a fuel cache in fucking Confederation Park. Like, okay, you want to talk about public safety? I'm kind of understanding it, but we obeyed all the rules. We obeyed all the bylaws of storing the fuel. You know, that we kept it in a separate shelter, such and such a feet away from any other enclosure with open flame or the possibility of spark. Like, I'm sure it was stored properly. These motherfuckers know what they're doing.
They literally
So
work
police
around it
started
all day.
yeah. So police started confiscating, but not only that, these people come from all over the country, right? And Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, these are country folk, all right? These people know what they're fucking doing. So
These ain't city folk.
they started seizing all the friggin' jerry cans, right? So what the protesters started doing was carrying jerry cans of water just to piss off police officers so that when you stop them, they'd have to check the contents. But they check the contents with you. The people down the street don't know who you are. Look at all these people.
These are all empty, but still
How
makes
many
a
how many
point.
are empty? How many have water? How many actually have diesel? They managed to smuggle diesel in doing this. 100%. We managed to hide it in the crowd and still basically smuggle in diesel for them. Like, that's amazing.
It became a symbol of resistance because they were confiscating it. I remember they went into an encampment and
Mhm.
they were actively confiscating it, which honestly a shame that I can't find any footage of the cops doing this because there was footage of them going up to the encampments where they were
Mhm.
taking these
Yeah, they're
jugs
putting in
away.
like a wagon.
God, I hope there's no porn that comes up. I really hope not. Every time I scroll down the search function, you know what? I should do this off stream. What am I doing? That's fucking
Yes.
amateur hour. Oh, there's
Um,
the convoy base. There's the
mhm.
all the food
Oh,
and
at
and on.
Coventry.
They had a sauna.
This is Coventry.
Looks like it, yeah. Look at that. Oh my god, they're
Yep.
stocked.
Like a department store, basically.
Dude, this is
Look at this.
better stocked than these fucking gay ass ice protests. Remember the one that we saw where they had like brownies from Costco
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever, and
And you
like
notice
look at
how
this.
like everything's all stacked and neat and everything has its
Organized
place. We're using the storage under the table and
and smart too. Not like Pop Tarts. Like they got like Campbell's soup, tons of Campbell's soup crackers,
we created this entire place made of like
apples.
tarpaulin sheets and yeah.
What are these? Oh, kale salads. Very nice. Vegan, gluten free. Look at that.
And these are just things people brought or made.
Giant Kinder Surprise. That's awesome.
Yeah, because why
Freedom
not?
bagels.
Freedom
Freedom
bagels.
bagels. Oh, dude, if okay, this I was just thinking as I was getting my drink. I was thinking, man, if I could have done anything for the convoy, bro, I would have been manning that grill. I would have been
Smashing some
fucking
burgers.
bro, I would have been fucking flipping burgers nonstop. Are you kidding me? Just right in front of Parliament Hill. Oh, that would be a dream. Set up a grill just the whole day. The whole day just fucking pumping out burgers left and right. Oh my god, dude. That would have been that would have been a dream. Fucking
Yeah.
burgers, hot dogs, you name it, man. Fuck that. Yeah. It was a lesson well learned. Next time that something like that happens, I need to get involved because yeah, this is truly once in a lifetime moment. What little I contacted or what little I interacted with that day was amazing.
Yeah.
Felt like you were seen. You felt like you were recognized that you
Mhm.
weren't just crazy for the first time. It's like that same realization that like
And it wasn't just you and like a club. Like it wasn't
no,
just
no,
this
no.
isn't a club of people that, look at
Yeah,
this.
like look at this, bro.
What?
Is it any surprise? Is it any surprise then that the government like froze these people's bank accounts? Is it any surprise they went as hard as they did? They were afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid that people could mobilize like this. Is it any surprise that Trudeau didn't meet with the leaders? Are you serious? Look at this. Holy shit, dude. Look at that. What are they gonna do?
Yeah. And notice how we didn't storm the Capitol.
No, no.
We
Once
didn't
again,
break
no
in
fights.
or destroy
Nothing.
anything. Like
No, they
we
didn't
didn't
march into Parliament.
behead Terry Fox or
No,
anybody else's statue or bust at the no.
no violence. Nothing. If there was a fight, it was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
These are fucking families. There's footage of kids playing fucking street hockey.
Oh, that picture of that kid with the soccer ball on the sidewalk right in front of Wellington while the cops are walking towards him. I swear to God, if that photo isn't in the history books in schools, it would be a fucking violation.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be a cautionary tale of what not to do during a
See, that's
civil
bullshit.
uprising. Yeah. All right, we've cycled through the videos. Let's go through some of the photos here. I left Poland for this. That's a good one. I like that. That's a choice one.
And again, just representing a bunch of different people from all over the world, right?
See, and they're also nice enough to not say like to have the word fuck. I like that. That's very Canadian. Like they're
Yeah.
not actually gonna like have the word
We're not
fuck
actually
spelled
gonna
out.
blast this right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. That's very Canadian. This one that's a gem. That's a gem right there. That's a fucking gem and a half right
I
there.
love that it's like on a piece of cardboard with like duct tape and it's hand drawn. It's great.
Yeah, you could tell this wasn't bought and paid for. Like somebody actually
This guy
went
took
out
the
of their
time
way.
to make
Like
this.
went into their fucking their hallway closet. Like, all right, let me get some arts and crafts supplies here and draw something up. You can tell this wasn't a paid protest. Right? One of the things we've talked about on the show endlessly is why I hate protests nowadays, and I think you would agree as we've talked about this before, is because not only are they just so fake and gay, but the most important thing is that these are clearly bought and paid for. These people show up literally the next day. The day that Maduro was arrested, all these people show up in Ottawa and Toronto out in full force talking about his arrest and all the ways that they disagree with it. It's like, really? Like, oh, you guys just woke up that day and you were ready to go with all these signs and posters? That's strange. That's very weird that you just happen to have the time and energy to do this.
I had to scrounge together a Canadian flag. I don't even know where we got the Canadian flag that we picked up.
Oh my god, could you imagine the guy that's selling the knickknacks? Oh my, I just realized the guys that could have made the most money. It's the souvenir shops in Rideau Center.
There were guys there selling stuff. There was a guy there selling buttons. He had like 12 different buttons.
Wow.
There was guys selling stickers. There was guys. I didn't have cash on me that day, which fucking pissed me off. But yeah, there was a guy with a bunch of buttons. They were all just in the stands. If you to the left of this image, actually, he was like right there on the corner, selling the buttons. And then guys were selling ribbons and so on. But going back to like presentation, yeah, when we were heading down to the convoy, I had to scrounge together to find something to friggin' bring. Like the Canadian flag, I don't even know where we got it from. We must have found it buried under something. We zip tied it to my old hockey stick, which was like, 8
Kiwi
to 10
hockey.
inches too short. Yeah. And then on the very top of it, I made like an orange tassel with some twine so that when I poked it up out of the crowd, my people could find me. It was just half-assed put together. And everybody else too, duct tape and friggin' hockey sticks.
Coors Light cooler on the back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some snacks.
God damn, dude. Oh, yeah, I should have went. It would have been awesome. Would have been awesome walking around with backpacks, just handing out fucking cold ones to people. My God. Yeah, there's Rideau.
There's
There's Rideau. I remember that fucking walkway because, as per usual, living in Ottawa is literally
Well,
filled
the
with
McDonald's
homeless.
was the McDonald's is just to the right off the screen.
Literally, like not even 2 seconds back. Yeah,
Oh man, I should have taken a photo of that McDonald's.
that
Goddamn.
fucking McDonald's, man. Fuck that
This is
McDonald's.
when I went later in the evening. At one point, I was there. It was almost it was almost around 10 o'clock or so. But I realized
at
they
all
had put
that,
up
man.
a bunch of signs and whatnot right in
Look
front of
at that.
Parliament.
This is about the most Canadian thing that could have happened. The gay flag doesn't belong there, so fuck off with that shit. But yeah, I get the spirit of it.
Well, the thing is about the gay flag, which I like, is that if you actually look to the poster to the left of it, it says like you called us the fringe, sexist, racist, supremacist. Like you don't even know what the fuck. You don't even know who the fuck we are. You can't talk for us because you don't represent us.
Yeah.
It's like even if this person is gay or trans or whatever, it's like that's fine. But again, Trudeau called them a misogynistic racist.
Yep.
Same as anybody else.
The fuck?
I threw that in there for some jokes.
Why? Okay. All right. This has nothing like.
No, it has nothing to do.
I'm cutting
the
this part
con-
out of the. I'm cutting this part out of the video. This is ridiculous. I'm not even. No. Fuck off.
This fucking guy.
I don't know why you'd do that. Okay. All right.
I didn't even put it in there. It uploaded with some of my other pictures, and then I forgot about it, and then I realized it was there, and I was like, fuck it, just leave it.
Well, that's all the media that we have. For the end of convoy stuff, we'll leave that for the next episode because like it's first of all, I don't want to sour the mood because we're riding pretty high right now. I like this. I like the vibe we got going because look, this thing was the Freedom Convoy was a celebration of life and the great things about being a Canadian, that you could rely on a neighbor and all these ideals that we've seemingly abandoned for I don't even know what or why, really. Partially because of like immigration and dilution of values, but even all that aside, the convoy was a thing of fucking beauty, absolute beauty. I mean, you would have never seen a more friendlier crowd anywhere in Canada. You'd be hard pressed to find a friendlier group of people in that time in Canada. People that would have, without second guessing themselves, given you the shirt off their back. Absolutely, like just nothing but generous. Once again, like nobody's mean spirited. The honking eventually stopped. I think after like the first week or something, they got a court injunction for it. And the thing is, people followed it. They didn't defy it. They didn't, they weren't acting unlawfully. They were like, okay, well, you have the legal means to do this. Okay, well, we're going to respect it. We respect the law. Like, yes, we are blockading the street, and yes, that's illegal. But at the end of the day, okay, that's the least you people deserve for what you've done to us, for what you've done to this entire nation, how you've stunted entire generations of people. Like, dude, let's not forget, these people robbed us of our mid-20s. Right? They robbed us of years off our lives. Years that we could have been spending doing anything else, right? The prime of your youth. That's what they robbed us of. Us and millions of other people out there.
Well, I would say they robbed us of even more time because in that time, how many of us were actually doing things to better our lives? Right?
Yeah.
Being isolated, being stuck inside, being jobless, relying on the government support. Like it wasn't exactly a great time for self-betterment, let's say, or at least a lot of us, I feel like, didn't step up to the plate to be bettering ourselves in that time. Like, for example, during fucking COVID, man, I put on some weight.
Oh, big time. Same.
And that not only took like the time when we were in COVID, like just completely taking that time away from me, but the time afterwards as well to just, get healthier, get back up to speed. I don't know, get back into the daily grind, the mindset and all that, and not having to wake up in the morning and just be like, well, today's another useless day. I guess I'll jump back on the friggin' computer and play Steam or whatever till I have to go
Great.
to
I
bed.
can't go to a museum. Can't take a plane. Can't take a train. Can't apply for a job because most jobs require vaccination.
Mhm.
Can't do this. Can't do that. Like, okay, so you've left me with gaming, smoking weed, drinking, hanging out with my friends, and
Binge
also
watching.
you're giving me an out
Mm.
because you're willing to pay a benefit for me to pay my rent and all that. So I have all the means to stay inside and not do anything with my life, and you are making it so that that is my only option. So
Well, not only that, but you're actively encouraging it.
can't
Stay
go to the
home.
gym,
Be safe.
can't go to the gym,
Protect
can't go to the
others.
movie theater, can't do anything. I can go outside and walk. I can breathe fresh air.
Mm.
Like, okay, great.
And then winter
So
comes around, and you really don't want to be doing that.
yeah. Like, you could really only exist in the online world, and the people that were most adept at that, whether it was crypto, trading, what have you, like, they won big. But the rest of
Mm.
us that, like, yeah, okay, we know how the internet works and we know where to find our funnies or games or what have you, but if we weren't able to actually capitalize on the opportunity to make money off of it, which, I mean, yeah, I guess every single person in Canada could have learned how to trade crypto, but like, what are we really talking about here at the end of the day? Why are those
Mm.
opportunities robbed from us? You know, as you've said
Yeah.
before, I don't know if it's on the show or we've never mentioned it. You had a job opportunity with a top, um, for lack of a better word, engineering firm that was working on some high tech shit, some really high tech stuff that you had to sign an NDA for. When you had the tour of their factory, you didn't have to wear a mask, but the moment that they asked you to provide a vaccination certificate, you were like, okay, well, hold on. If I'm unvaccinated and I was given this tour and I'm all around you now, what's the difference between that and working? Because I was just exposing you to whatever I have, right? If we're operating under your logic, okay, we just went through the danger scenario of you spending time with me and me being
Mhm.
unvaccinated. So what's the issue? You know, so you were denied that opportunity and others, as was I, and many other people that we know. And for what?
Yeah, I know. I'd mentioned that story, I think, in the last podcast for sure. But yeah, no, there's like you said, for what? For your arbitrary rule. And was I talking to you about it before? Oh, I was talking about it with you before. We were questioning, like, if a rule is being enforced for the sake of the rule,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
stupid rule, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's one thing to be in the army and for someone to tell you, "Hey, don't touch that red button." Well, if you're in the army, contextually, yeah, don't touch that red button. There's a little bit of context there and the kind of dangers that you're dealing with when you're in the army. But this is not the army. Okay, this is not. It really isn't.
Hmm.
So these rules that were followed for the sake of rules. I mean, that even that footage that we saw of the guy at the beer store, what a baller move of him just dropping a 20 on the ground and leaving. The cops,
Yeah.
7 squad cars, 7 of them showing up, 7 of them showing up to deal with these what, 3 guys? Three
Hmm.
guys that are just getting beer? Like, really? That's what we're talking about? These guys, like, what, these cops are getting paid fucking 20 something an hour to show up and do this? This is what we're paying the police to do? Don't you have like a rape to deal with? Don't you have like a crime to solve? What the fuck are you doing here? Don't you have some streets to patrol? Fuck off, man.
Oh, well, the best part is that they weren't even doing anything illegal, right? The money's in there. The transaction was
Yeah.
made. Like,
Yeah. Honestly, that's
it
what,
reminds
like,
me of the
that's,
UK guy who
yes,
who paid
strawberries
cash. Yeah,
or the raspberries or whatever. Yeah, yeah. He just
whatever
dropped
it
the money
was.
on the
Yeah,
counter. Yeah. I was like, yeah, here's a
I
five
give you
pound
legal
note.
tender.
Yep.
Give
I'm
me
walking
these
out of here.
strawberries.
Honestly, that's what should have been done. Like, as a protest movement, is walk into a store with a mask on immediately upon like getting everything you need in your grocery cart. calculate the total, figure out the tax, drop off the cash and be like, all right, here's the cash. You can keep the change. I'm done. And walk out.
Yeah.
I mean, that, you know what? Now that I think about it, I actually realized that wouldn't work because the reason they scan the items is so that they have an active inventory of their
Inventory
stock.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: your inventory policy has nothing to do with me. I'm a customer. I walk in, I buy the product. It doesn't matter to me if your inventory account gets messed up. I came here for a transaction. I don't know why your inventory management falls onto me. Why is that my responsibility?
Yeah.
So no,
I guess
absolutely. You could have walked in there, drop the cash, and walk out. Like,
drop the cash and a list of the items that you grabbed. That's getting a little
sure.
complicated, but yeah, just grab it and be like, all right, here you go. Here's the brand,
No,
and
just make
here's
the
everything else.
grocery list.
Yep.
Go in, grab everything, and then leave the grocery list.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked. Did you have any other stories to share before we head out? Because I'm trying to think of. Oh,
The only what?
no, go ahead.
The only other thing that I would mention. No, not really. The only thing I was going to say is I'd mention that conversation I had with an older woman while walking down the street. Just randomly met her, just started talking, and she was telling me about how basically this was a big relief from her because she was fully unvaccinated, like myself, and her family had essentially completely disowned her. Her kids wouldn't come and see her or bring her grandkids around. Her family, like her mom and brothers and sisters or whoever, refused to see her and would call her like, an extremist and blah, 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 blah. I, but that talk, like being able to just be that bare, with somebody, just having that like raw conversation with a complete stranger. And I don't know, there was no awkwardness about it because it was kind of what we were all there for. It was a big therapy session for everybody. For one reason or for whatever reason you headed down to the convoy for, I feel like you got your answer. Or you were satisfied in some way with your experience down there. And my only regret is not being there in the end. Once they started setting up the hard blockades and started squeezing people out, because as kind of sideways as it got, and as hard as it was to watch them push the line on the truckers, it would have been better to be there. But I mean, other than that, like you said, don't want to leave it on a sour note. It was the greatest. It was the most peaceful protest of our time. There's nothing else to say about it. We did everything right. And at the end, the leaders still somehow got hit with, what was it, conspiracy to commit mischief or something like that, or inciting mischief, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. The leaders of the convoy got hit with mischief charges, which is the longest mischief trial in Canadian history. And it once again begs the question, if the convoy was as evil as they said it was, if it was as bad as they said it was, if it was truly filled if it was filled with Nazis, if it was actually filled with all of these evil elements of people trying to destroy the country from within, right? There was that declaration that came out that the convoy leaders eventually said that this actually has nothing to do with us. We do not want to take the Canadian government. I forget the name of it, but there was an organization that was supposedly trying to set up these terms so that the Canadian government would be dissolved and they would have to reform parliament and so on and so forth, which realistically, like, that had no legs. Nobody was actually going to support that. This was not what the people were there for. They were just there to voice their grievances with the government. And so if it was as bad as they said it was, then why is it that the only charges laid were mischief charges? Why is it that the charges that were laid were absolutely just beyond ridiculous, right? And it's taken so long for the courts to deal with this case. I mean, the other case that we had there was of the let me see if I can find it. I think I had it pulled up here earlier with that it was that soldier who stood at the war memorial. He was I'm gonna have to scroll through the posts here. But it was the war memorial where he stood guard. Actually, you know what? It'll be in my notifications. Let me just scroll down here real quick. There it is. Yeah, it was this gentleman right here. Where the Justice Center, who's for lack of a better word, they're an organization that speaks on behalf of the infringement of rights of Canadians for various cases, the convoy being one of them. But this was a case against the Canadian Forces veteran Master Warrant Officer Jeffrey Evely, who is now retired. But he was convicted of mischief and obstruction after attempting to stand guard at the National War Memorial during the peaceful Freedom Convoy protest in February 2022. So this man who had served his country, right, had actually gone to conflict zones, wasn't just in the reserves or anything, had actually done time, had some tours. He stood guard at the National War Memorial, and he was tried for mischief. Like, really, these are the serious charges. This is what you're leveling against the people. Like, this is. I mean, if we're led to believe that honk honk stands for Heil Hitler, shouldn't we be seeing a lot more serious charges? Shouldn't we be seeing something a little bit more credulous?
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to bring out a War Times Act, like the Emergencies Act, at the very least, you would suspect the leaders of this movement to be deemed what? Something along the lines of domestic terrorists? No, there's no terrorist charges. No terrorism charges. There's nothing
Yep.
close. Like you said, mischief.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mischief sounds like the general trash that's left over when you can't describe what your 14-year-old kid did. Like,
yeah, it sounds like some Dennis the Menace shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like literally some Dennis the Menace activity. Absolutely. So with that, for the next episode, now that we've covered what happened during the convoy itself, we'll be going over the final days of the convoy and the police reaction to it, the hearings that followed after the trials and all those legal battles, highlights of the testimony and all that. That'll happen next week, so stay tuned for that next Wednesday, probably around 6-7 p.m. Same thing. All the information will be out in the socials. And as per always, if you want to support the stream, just go to the link in the description of this video or on my X profile there, bio.link/whitepill. You'll find all the links to our platforms there. If you want to give a shout out or rather follow to Mr. Fireside Talks, the links are there as well in the description of the episode. Give him a follow because there's definitely more to come here. If you want to have a question read aloud on stream, you're more than welcome. Don't feel obligated, but you're more than welcome to send us some funds on PayPal or either through the crypto links there. And that being said, we actually got some donations an hour ago, which are... These are some weird ones because, look, the name is different, and I'm not doxing this person, but the email is the exact same. This is all coming from the same person. These questions are fucking weird, man. Like, I appreciate the support, don't get me wrong, but it's weird that you're asking questions that have actually, like, nothing to do with what we're talking about. This feels a little spammy. I don't know what to make of it. But your first question here is coming from Peter Minnick. As a Canadian, do you like Trump? Which, look, I'll keep this short. Do I like Trump? Not particularly anymore. Not that much of a fan of what he's been doing. I like that he's America first in a lot of ways, but he still falls short of the message of the movement and doesn't go as far as he needs to on certain policies. So it's kind of a mixed bag. whether I like him. And this question here, like, once again, dude, I appreciate the funds, but like, what the fuck is this? Question is, do you think there's a case for puberty blockers for trans kids, or should they wait until they're 18? It's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird that you're asking this. But I guess to answer your question, because right, I'll read any donation that you guys send. No, I don't think there's a case for puberty blockers for kids. And yes, they should wait till they're 18, and that's that. So, that being said, we'll end the show off here. See you guys on Friday. Friday morning, we'll do a stream there. Everything's on the socials. You guys can go there. And you got any final words to say there, Mr. Fireside?
Not really. Just I think just a general shout out to anybody who came down during the convoy, the truckers out there, or anybody else who tagged along with the movement and ended up here in Ottawa. We appreciate you, and thank you for coming down and giving it your best. And you know what? I'm glad it ended up the way it was, and just being respectful overall. So, yeah, thank you.
Right on. So, yeah, that being said, we'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good night.